Hello students, today we are going to look at data frame in pandas. My previous 3 videos were on series, panda series, and now we will be starting with data frame data structure. Data frame, as we have discussed previously in our first video also, the data frame are just like two-dimensional arrays. They just look like the spreadsheet of Excel. That means they support rows and columns arrangement of data. And it is an ordered collection of columns. It can store any type of data. It can be numeric, string, floats, etc. Now, since it is a two-dimensional array, so it means it is just like a matrix. Like suppose you people have been studying about matrix, a double dimension array having rows and columns. Similar is the case with that of data frame. So the major characteristics of data frame are, number one, it has two indexes, or we can say it has two axes. One for row, which starts with 0, and the other for column, which has an index number starting with 1. Second is, it is a spreadsheet conceptually, if we see, where each value is identifiable with the combination of row and column. As we know in Excel also, if our cursor is at any cell, so it is a combination of row and column. Suppose our cell pointer is on row 1 and column A, we say A1. So similar is the case here. The row index is known as index. Generally, as we have seen in series also, index is very important to be there with the data, and column are said to be the column names, the column index. So the indexes here also can be numeric, letters, strings, etc. As we have seen in Panda series also. The indexes you can keep on your own, either integer, string or character. And then fourth is, there is no condition of having all data of same type. In the same table of data frame, you can keep one data as a string, the other as an integer, the other as a float. There is no compulsion that if you are storing integers, so all the data should be in integers only. Its column can have data of different types. You can easily change its values. So here, as we have seen the differences in our first video of Panda series, whose link I'll be giving in the description box also, that here the data can be mutable. You can change the value anytime. You can add or delete rows and columns here also, and so the size is mutable. But in case of series, it was impossible to delete one complete row or one complete data, because it was the size there is immutable, but here the size is mutable. So these characteristics are very important for data frames. One is, it has two axes. The one axis is row, which starts with 0, and the other axis is column, which starts with 1. Then there is no compulsion of storing only one type of data. You can store various types of data in one data frame. Then the size is mutable. You can change, you can delete or add new datas or new columns into your data frame. The values also can be changed, so the values are mutable. Then the data frame conceptually looks like that Excel worksheet or spreadsheet, because here whenever you are entering a data, it will have a row and a column name associated with it. And the indexes can be in any way. They can be letters, strings, numbers, etc. Now we have to see how to create and display a data frame. For this also you will be importing pandas, import pandas as PD and import numpy as NP, as we have done in Panda series also. But instead of using that, like suppose pd.series, instead of that we'll be using pd.dataframe. And so the type of data that can be stored in it are a two-dimensional dictionary. That means nested dictionaries can be there. Two-dimensional ND arrays can be stored. Series type object can be stored. And you can store one more data frame object into another data frame object. So here also 4 types of data can be stored. It can be a 2-dimensional ND array. It can be a 2-dimensional dictionary. It can be a series object, or it can be another data frame object which can be placed in your own data frame object. So now let's see sequence wise how to create our data frames by looking on the system on Anaconda Navigator. So our first topic will be how. So now let's look at how to create a data frame using a dictionary. Suppose this is our dictionary dict1, which is having one key having a list of several student names. Suppose I am giving here a name Priya, then Nitin, then Pooja. Then after that, after the student's key, I am keeping another key as marks. In which I can give within a list. See, if you are seeing carefully, all the keys are having a several pair of names and the marks that I will be giving in the form of list. 89, 90, 78, and I'll give corresponding 3 values only, as I have given the names 3 names only. Then after that, with a comma, I am going to give here the sports which these people play. I'll write here sports, and I'll give here like suppose hockey. Then I'm giving here tennis, football, right? So this dictionary is having how many keys? It is having 3 keys, and all these keys are having their own values in the form of a list, and this becomes a double dimension dictionary. It is said to be a 2D dictionary. If I print this dictionary, and naturally I'll get all the values of this dictionary. So if I save it first of all, gt.py. Okay, sports, by mistake I have not given in single quotes. That's a key value, and key value should always be in strings. So I'm getting all the values over here, if you look carefully. But I don't need to print the dictionary. I want it to be put into a data frame. So in our program, what we are going to do is, instead of printing the dictionary, we'll make a data frame. And for this we need to import pandas as PD and import numpy as NP. So now we are going to do what? df1 is equal to pd dot data frame. Till now we were using pd dot series data frame, in which we are going to put our dictionary. And as I told you that a dictionary always represents a double dimension array. So let's see how the output comes to be. We'll print it. Print df1. Here we are getting a double dimension array having students, marks and hockey as a columns, and here the index numbers are given as 0, 1, 2, while the rest of the data has been arranged in the form of a 2-dimension array. So putting all the data in your dictionary and then that dictionary into the data frame will create a double dimension array. And there is an interesting thing also, that we can change the index number of the data frame to anything. Like instead of 0 1 2, if I want that the index should change to ABC, so I can write index is equal to A B C, or I can write Roman numbers also. After that, if I am running this, I am getting ABC as the index number, and here the output. What did I do? While creating my data frame, I had put the index numbers also. Look at this carefully. Right? There is an example which is given in example 21, which says given a dictionary that stores a section names, list as value for section key and contribution amounts such as a value for country key. If you remember, we have done this type of question in case of series in which there was a list of section and a list of country. Now this time we have to add it in a dictionary, both. And then we have to create a data frame out of it. So let's see how do we do it. In the dict one, here we'll be writing section. Section में we'll be writing, like suppose we are having 3 sections, A, B, C. And instead of marks, we'll be keeping country. That means the contribution that these students have done. So in contribution also we can write whatever amount we want. Suppose we are writing one section has given 6,000, the other 7,000, and the third one 5,600. But now this time we do not need sports, so we'll be removing it. So this way our dictionary has been prepared. This dictionary we have put in this data frame, dict 1. Index numbering, instead of ABC we can write I, that means Roman number, 2 and 3. And then we are printing our data frame. So let's see what the output comes out to be. Here we have it, section, country, and the index number that we have given 1 2 3 in Roman numbers, and here is your entire data frame. So instead of printing a list or a series, we are using section and country together in one dictionary to get a data frame. Now there is another topic, creating a data frame from a 2D dictionary having values as dictionary objects. So let's see how it works. Let's see. I'm sorry. This is a dictionary people, which will be having in curly brace one key as sales. In the sales department, the person who is working, we need his name, his age, and his gender. So we'll be putting another dictionary, that is a nested dictionary, in which one key will be name, and then we'll be putting a name like suppose Joy is the name of that person. We'll keep in single quotes. Then age again in single quotes. All the key values have to be in single quotes, and then the age. And then we need gender again in single quotes, and we'll keep here male. This was one dictionary, one nested dictionary put in a key value of sales, and another department is suppose marketing, in which again the same thing has to be put. in the form of a nested dictionary, that is name. Suppose it is Sumit. Then we'll put age. Suppose it is 35. Then we'll put gender, in which it will be male. Now if we put both this entire dictionary of people in a data frame, df1 is equal to pd dot data frame, and we put people inside it, and we try to print our data frame, print df1. See, what will happen is the sales and the marketing department that you people have been giving, and under which there is a nested dictionary, those will be the column names, and this inner dictionary in which the headings like name, age and gender will become the index numbers. Let's see how interesting the output comes out to be. This is the output. Sales and marketing have become the column names. The gender, age and name have become the index numbers. And we are getting the values as per. So this means if you are nesting a dictionary within another dictionary, and the inner dictionary in which you will be having the key values, that will become the index numbers. There is an interesting example also given in example 22. Create and display a data frame from a 2D dictionary sales, which stores a quarter-wise sales as inner dictionary for 2 years as shown below. In the question, both the years and the quarters have been given. Let's see how it comes out to be on the screen. Again the same thing. The things which will be placed in the inner dictionary, those key values will become the index numbers, like quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. And year 1 and year 2, which will be the outer ones, as we have here in sales as an outer one, they will become the column names. So let's see how it works. So I'm trying to type that nested dictionary of year 1 and year 2. We'll remove this from the screen. The question already says the dictionary name is sale, and here we have got, because for 2 years it has been given, so year 1 becomes our key, and here there is a nested dictionary in which quarter 1 is one of the keys, and the amount has already been given in the book also. Then comes quarter 2. And here also the amount has been given as 56,000. Then comes quarter 3. In which it is 47,000. Then comes quarter 4, in which we are storing 49,000. After that, this nested dictionary has finished, and then comes year 2. After year 2, again inside we are going to keep all these things. Quarter 1, which is having 44,900. Then quarter 2, which is having 46,100. Then comes quarter 3, in which we are having 57,000. And then quarter 4, which is having 59,000. Now we are going to put the sales into a dictionary, into a data frame. So we'll create a data frame. df1 is equal to pd dot data frame, and we'll put sales over here, and then we'll try to print our data frame. So here we are getting Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 as the index numbers, and year 1 and year 2 as your column names. It's quite interesting. And here they have also told us, suppose you have got two different dictionaries and both of them are to be nested into a bigger dictionary, and if corresponding values are not found, then it always puts a NaN value which are not matching. So there is an example of 23, example 23, in which there is a program which is made. Year 1 and year 2 are two different dictionaries which are having different key values, somewhat different from each other. And when a data frame is created, then they are asking that how many index numbers would be there. So I must tell you, if two dictionaries are having different index positions, all the index positions will be added all together. And here in the program, I'm going to type it on the screen so that you people may have a good idea of it. We'll take year 1 over here. Year 1 I am taking as my dictionary is equal to, it is having Q1, Q2, then Q3 is there. The name has changed over here, Q3. And then for Q4 also, that is Q4 has changed to Q4. This is one dictionary. Year 2 is another dictionary. Here instead of Q1 we have got A as one of the key value, and then B. And then we have got here Q4. So you can directly see here the index positions are not matching with each other. This is Q1 A, Q2 B, Q3, Q4. So the question is being asked that, and even Q4 is also there. There are four key values in the first one. Sorry, this is Q4. So total index numbers will be adding all the indexes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'll have to create a nested dictionary. So I need another dictionary to put both the dictionaries in that. If I say di sales is equal to 1 colon year 1 comma 2 colon year 2. And then I put di sales over here. Di sales. So you can yourself look at the output. A, B, C, D, all the index numbers, 7 index numbers are there, including both of the dictionaries. Why NaN values are coming? Because for A, there is no corresponding value in year 1 dictionary. So it will put a NaN value. For B also, there is no corresponding key value in the year 1 dictionary. So NaN. And Q1 is there in year 1, but it has no corresponding value in year 2. So NaN. So those values which are not corresponding to each other, they will be represented by NaN value. So we have completed only up till this topic. The second will be creating a data frame object from a list of dictionaries or lists, which will be covering in the next video. Hope you people have understood this, and if you have understood it, you can press the like button and subscribe to our channel. We'll come up with more videos on data frames and other pandas series and all. Thank you.